Hello, welcome to Mrs. Merkel's Trig class. Let's start with a prayer. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Okay, today we are talking parabolas. So let's take a look. I know we already covered parabolas, but we're going to do it a little bit more extensively. And we're actually going to get to have parabolas that go right and left and not just up and down. So let's start with some review here. Definition of a parabola. Well, actually, this isn't review because we didn't talk about this before. A parabola is the set of all points equidistant from a fixed line called the directrix and a fixed point not on the line called the focus. So I'm on page 412 here, and they have a very good picture of these equidistant points. So if you're interested, take a look on page 412, and it shows how all the points on the parabola are equidistant between the directrix and the focus. Okay, so what does this mean for us? First of all, what you're going to notice is that the vertex is midway between the focus and the directrix. Now these are all, it's basically like a foreign language here, so we've got to do some practice with these so that we can see what we're talking about here, because I know when I was first trying to make this video, it was a lot to remember which was which and what was what. So let's take a look at some examples. I think that's the best way to start with this. So let's take a look here now so we can focus here. All right, now, focus. All right, let's take a look. This parabola here, okay? Now, I think that when you're doing this, I would get a different color for your directrix, because when I was doing them, I found that I was mixing up the x or the y axis with the directrix, so I found it made it so much easier when I made the directrix a different color. So that's what I would do. I would recommend you getting a different color. So take a look. This is our vertex. This is our directrix, and this is our focus. And what I said on the previous sheet is that the vertex is midway between the focus and the directrix. So if you take a look here, you go up 1, 2, and then another 1, 2. The vertex is right in the middle, okay? And the parabola opens away from the directrix, and the focus is right inside the center of the parabola. All right, let's take a look at in this one. This parabola opens up. Let's take a look at a parabola that opens down. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's see. Is the vertex in the middle? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes, the vertex is in the middle between the directrix and the focus. Okay, so these are the ones that we're used to seeing, the parabolas that open up or the parabolas that open down. Now let's take a look. This parabola opens to the left. So see how, look at this, how cool this is. This is our directrix over here. All right, but let's take a look. Now I try to do these a little bit differently. The distance between the directrix and the vertex is 1, and the difference between the vertex and the focus is 1. So see how the vertex is right in the middle? I'm really bad at drawing these parabolas, so I just sketched them in. What's most important is to get our bearings with the focus, the vertex, and the directrix, and the parabola itself is just a sketch. Okay, so this is one that opens left. Let's take a look at one that opens right. All right, the vertex is 2 away from the directrix and 2 away from the focus. All right, notice in every single one of these, the focus is inside the parabola and the directrix is outside the parabola. I think that will help. All right, now because these are, new words in a foreign language, I want to write this down. I wrote it like this to help myself remember. It goes FVD or DVF. Okay, so see how it goes FVD or DVF. Now what helps me to remember is this V in the middle kind of looks like those little angry eyebrows when you draw a face with angry face with those angry eyebrows. So just remember that the vertex is in the middle. It doesn't matter which order as long as the vertex is in the middle. Okay, and if you know 2 of these, you can find the third, which is where we start doing some problems, practicing and figuring this whole parabola thing out, okay? So they're going to give us 2 out of the 3, and we have to find the third. So this gives us all of our examples of parabolas. Let's go on to the next thing. So let's see what we have here. It says, a parabola has a vertex, -2, 3. Now, one piece of advice I would say when you start with this is I would label everything, especially if you sometimes get your x's and y's mixed up. I would just go ahead and put, there's x, y, and here, okay? There's that, at least for the moment, okay? And the focus is x, y, all right? So let's take a quick look. The parabola has a vertex of -2, 3. So that means x is -2, y is 3. So it's this point right here. That's your vertex, okay? And your focus is -2, 1. So our first focus is right there. Okay, so now we have to decide where the directrix is going to go. So the vertex must be in the middle, okay? So that means the directrix is going to go, let's count how many lines we have here. So it's 2 lines to the vertex, so we're going to go up 2 lines above that, and we are going to put our directrix right here. Okay, so this is our focus, so it goes F, V, D, and V is right in the middle. All right, so now let's take a look. It says find the directrix. All right, now sometimes I know we're not very good at this. That's why we have to practice. What is the equation for this line? Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At this point right here, y is equal to 5. At this point right here, y is equal to 5. At this point right here, y is equal to 5. At this point over here, y is equal to 5. So the directrix is y is equal to 5. All right, and if we were just to take a quick sketch of our parabola, remember it goes through the vertex, okay? So your parabola is going to look something like that. I like to sketch my parabola in pencil because it's just a sketch, because we don't really know how. You can sort of guesstimate how skinny it's or wide it's going to be, but what's most important is that it opens down and that the focus is in here and the directrix is out here. All right, so the answer to this question is actually just y is equal to 5. But on your homework, you need to make this little sketch to help keep yourself be organized, okay? All right, let's take a look at the next one. A parabola has a vertex 0, 0. And this is the way they write the directrix such that x is equal to -2, and they want us to find the focus, okay? So let's take a look here. What do we know? The vertex is at 0, 0. So let's put our vertex here, right at the origin, okay? And it said that x is equal to 2. Well, where is x equal to 2? I'm sorry, -2. Where is x equal to -2? X is equal to -2 right here. Where is x always equal to -2? Well, x is always equal to -2 along this line right here. So, draw this line here. Okay. That's our directrix. And they want us to find the focus. So remember, V is in the middle. So we go 1, 2, 1, 2. So this right here is our focus. So it goes D, V, F. All right. They want us to find the focus. Well, the focus is x is equal to 2, y is equal to 0. And they write it like that, F, 2, 0. All right. What does this parabola look like? I think we could use the practice, so let's draw it. So our parabola is going to go on its side like this, and we'll just sketch our parabola like that, not worrying too much about the width of it. All right. The focus is inside the parabola, the directrix is over here, and the vertex is in the middle. All right. This is 2 examples, one where we found the directrix, one where we find the focus. So let's take a look at our next one. A parabola has a focus of 4, 6, a directrix, x is equal to 0, and they want us to find the vertex. So let's take a look. The focus, remember, x, y. The focus is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's our focus. Okay, the directrix is x is equal to 0. So where is x equal to 0? X is equal to 0 here. That's why it's important, because if you were to draw it here, x would be changing. X is only equal to 0 right here. So I'm going to kind of draw it a little bit next to the y-axis so we can see it. Okay, there's that. That's the directrix, all right? And they want us to find the vertex. So the vertex is halfway between the focus and the directrix. So let's take a look here. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 squares. So the vertex is going to be right in the middle, right there. Okay, so this goes D, V, F. Let's draw our parabola. This one's actually laying on the same side as the other one. Our parabola is going to go like that. Okay. And the vertex is, let's take a look what our vertex is. The vertex is the point x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the vertex is equal to 2, 6. So on your homework, there's going to be, we're going to give a bunch of these to try because you really have to get familiar. What's the vertex? What's the directrix? What's the focus? And I think we need a lot of practice with that. Okay, so that gives you an example of each one of those. They're going to give you 2 out of the 3, and you have to find the third one. All right, let's take a look what else we have to do. All right, now if you remember from what we did before, the formula for the parabola is y minus k is equal to a times x minus h squared. All right, and now what we have here, though, is we have something new, that a is equal to 1 over 4c. So let's take a look. We have a picture over here. All right, this is our directrix. All right, and you'll notice that the vertex is between and right in the middle. Okay, c is the distance here between the vertex and the directrix, or c is the distance between the focus and the vertex. Okay, it's just that little distance there. All right, so a is equal to 1 over 4c. So let's say c were to equal to 1, a would be 1 over 4. All right, like before, the vertex is hk. So remember, h goes with x and k goes with y. Now don't worry about these ones here, because I think these are easier to figure out from the picture. Okay, so don't worry too much about that. I just copied that out of the book. What's most important, the information that you really need to write down, is what's in this box here, because that's going to help us to solve our problems. All right, now this is a parabola that opens either up or down, and that's why the y is there. All right, now we've never seen the equation for a parabola that opens left or right. Well, you will now. All right, so let's take a look. So for this one, the parabola, now instead of saying y minus k, you're going to have x over here. And remember, h is always with x. So it's x minus h is equal to a times y minus k squared. You're going to want to have these right next to you when you're doing your homework, because that will help a lot. Okay, c is this distance here. Okay, there's the distance from here to here is c, and the distance from here to here is c, and a is equal to 1 over 4c. We're going to have to talk direction in a little bit, but for right now, we'll just leave it at that. So what's most important for you to get out of this is the equation for when it's up or down, y is out front. When it's left or right, x is out front. All right, and remember, k is always with y and h is always with x. Okay, now let's take a look at an example so that you can do your homework. I just had to power through these. So, and figure it out, because I think that if you figure this out, you're going to be like, I got it. All right, so let's take a look at this question here. All right, they want to know what the equation is. Now, I think if I remember correctly, when I did this, I copied the first problem, so let's take a look here and see where that first problem is. Yes, okay. So the parabola has a vertex of -2, 3, and a focus of -2, 1. Find the directrix, which we did. Okay, so first of all, we need to find out what C is. So this was this one, and they're going to ask us, what is the equation for this parabola? So step one, when finding the equation for the parabola, is you have to find out what C is. So draw a sketch, and C is, it's 1, 2, or 1, 2. Okay, it's the distance between the directrix and the vertex, or the distance between the vertex and the focus. All right, so C is equal to 2. A is equal to 1 over, did I write that down? 4, I wrote 2C. Oops. Ha. Oh well, what are you going to do? 1 over 4C, and 4 times 2 is 8. Okay? All right, so take a look at this here. But the question is, why did I write that A is equal to -1? It's what we remember from before. If our parabola opens downward, A is going to be negative. If our parabola opens upward, A is going to be positive. Okay? So because our parabola opens downward, A is going to be equal to -1 over 8. All right? So let's take a look. Now, what you're going to do, the first step is, we know that it opens down. So once we know that it opens down, you start with Y. All right, now we need to start filling things in. Very important, remember I said about labeling things? The vertex is HK. Put the H here and put the K there. They're in alphabetical order. Just write the H there, write the K there, over the vertex. Okay? So over the vertex, you're going to label H and K. Now it's time to start filling things in for our equation. And this is easy. The hard part is getting yourself organized and making the picture. All right? So let's take a look what we have here. I have to change this to an 8 because I made a careless mistake there. Okay? All right, so let's take a look. So it's Y minus K. So Y minus 3 is equal to A, which is -1 over 8, parentheses X. Now, it's X minus H, but it's X minus a -2, which is actually X plus 2. Because what you'll remember is the signs are sort of technically opposite here, because this is +3, this kind of looks like a -3, this is -2, looks like a +2, okay? It comes from the fact that this is already in that form, Y minus H, and that's when you put the 3 in there, it looks like it's negative, okay? All right, so this is your answer. Y minus 3 is equal to -1 times X plus 2 squared. All right, let's take a look at one that looks like, I'm gonna see if I made a mistake. Oh, got it. Well, maybe I did on the answer, but we'll see. Okay, take a look here. So now they're gonna give us the problem here. They give us the vertex. The vertex is 1, -1, okay? So X is +1, Y is -1. So we graph your vertex right there. The second thing they give us is that the focus is -3, -1. 1, 2, 3, -3, -1. That's our focus. So now remember, we have to put our directrix on. The vertex is in the middle between the focus and the directrix. So where's my ruler? We're going to draw the directrix right here. All right, that's our directrix. So what is C? C is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be the same, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? C is equal to 4, all right? A is equal to 1 over 4C, so that is going to be 1 over 16, okay? And now this parabola opens left. And we've never seen a left opening parabola, but when a parabola opens left, A is negative, okay? And when a parabola opens right, A is positive. So let's take a look now from over here. We have, where did I put that? There it is. All right, if a parabola opens left or right, we have X minus H is equal to A times Y minus K squared, okay? So we have, make sure you label this. X is equal to, so H is equal to 1, so it's X minus 1 is equal to -1 over 16 times Y plus 1 squared, and that is the equation for the parabola. All right, now I'm going to turn you loose. I've got a couple of tips that I want to give you, and then I want you to try to do as many as these that you can. I found when I had finally finished all of them, I had really, really gotten it, okay? So that's why I want you to try this. I can post solutions if you need more time. I have 2 days for parabolas. We're probably going to talk some points maybe tomorrow, actual non-sketches where we actually put the points in for the parabola. But what's really important, I need you to do every single one of these, at least until you feel like you got it, okay? So things to remember, points to remember. It's FVD or DVF. These are those little angry eyebrows in the middle, if that helps you to remember. If the parabola opens up, A is positive. If the parabola opens down, A is negative. If the parabola opens to the right, A is positive. If the parabola opens to the left, A is negative. Make sure you label H and K right over the vertex so that you're ready to plug them into either this equation or this equation. If it opens up, that's going to be the Y. If it opens right or left, that's going to start with the X. So your homework, I want you to do as many of these as you can. If you get burnt out and you need to quit, that's okay. Take as much time as you need. But the homework is page 415, 1 to 16 all. But I found it helpful to use graph paper, but what's most important is that it's just a sketch. Don't worry about any points that are on the parabola. I just want you to see why does the directrix go this way? Why does the directrix go this way? How do I make the focus? Where's the focus? Where's the vertex? These are, I've never heard, term directrix before. So what is it? Which one's the directrix? Directrix is the line, okay? The focus is the point that's inside the parabola. If you get this, great, but I know some of you are going to struggle with it. So I think that practice will really help. I will post solutions as necessary. If it might take you more than a half an hour if this doesn't come easy to you. Just do a little today and a little tomorrow. All right, that's it for today. Hopefully this makes sense to you. I took a lot of time putting these notes together. That's why this video is out a little later than I had intended to. But try that, see what you think. Give me any questions on Jupiter Ed, and if you need any solutions, you let me know. Otherwise, just give it a shot and see how it goes. Parabolas really aren't that bad, but we just have to get used to the language that goes along with the parabola. All right, sounds good. You guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.